Amy, happening right now in Nashville, Lawmaker is demonstrating just how easy it is to buy and sell assault rifles right here in our state. It's the same Lawmaker that stirred up some controversy last year by bringing a gun into the state capitol. News Channel 5's Alexandra Cohen live in downtown Nashville with more. And Alexandra, what's going on?
Well, as you can see, this is a lemonade cookie and AK-47 stand. You may be asking, why is this Lawmaker here at this street corner? We're live here, and he's going to tell you why.
Well, thank you for coming down. I mean, we're trying to make sure people understand that in the state of Tennessee, unless we change our laws, you can sell an AK-47 with no background check, no ID check right here on the streets. It's perfectly legal. I bought this weapon in a parking lot last night. It's used by many military forces around the world. And I just don't think it should be as easy to buy an AK-47 as it is to buy lemonade and cookies. But unfortunately, right now it is. Today, I'm going to try to pass a bill that would require a background check every time you purchase one of these weapons. And that way, terrorists, people on the terrorist watch list, felons, would not be able to just go to a parking lot, as I did last night, and purchase military-quality weaponry.
So if someone walks up right now while we're doing this live shot and hands you $700, will you give them the gun?
I absolutely will. Unfortunately, that's legal. Now, I've offered $100 off if someone will take a background check, because I think that's really important, and I suspect that'll inspire anyone who comes down to do the background check. But unfortunately, it's completely legal for me to sell this for $700 right now with no background check to a felon. And I just think that's not the way the laws should work in this state.
Why is this bill so important to you personally?
Well, it's important to me because this is an area where 80% of Tennesseans believe the same thing, which is that you should have background checks. You shouldn't have two lines at the airport, one for regular people and law-abiding citizens and one for criminals. And you shouldn't have two ways to buy guns, one for law-abiding citizens at a gun store and one for people who don't want a background check. And everybody agrees. Very, very few people don't agree with that. But up at the legislature, we have consistently blocked this legislation because of very few narrow-minded interest groups. We need to just move beyond this debate and get this done.
And lastly, can you tell our viewers when or why you are doing this here today? What's happening at 9 a.m.?
At 9 a.m., I'm trying to move my bill, which would require background checks for transfers of these sorts of firearms, and I just feel like I want to popularize the fact. Last year I bought another weapon. I probably will buy a weapon every year in a parking lot until we can solve this problem. Hopefully this is my last parking lot purchase of a military rifle.
And I heard last year you made quite the entrance at one of the meetings. What did you do last year to raise awareness about this?
Last year I brought a different military weapon, an AR-15, into the committee room just to show people that I had gone down the night before with no planning and bought that weapon in a parking lot. I wondered if that was unusual, so yesterday about 4 o'clock I started looking around for a weapon, and by 6 I had this AK-47 and a lot of ammunition in my car ready to go. So if I had been a terrorist with no ID, with no other information, with no background check, I could have purchased everything I needed to conduct a major terrorist operation. That's just crazy. We shouldn't allow it.
Thank you so much for your time today. I'm being told to send it back to Amy and Steve in the studio.